Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
John, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Hammer in the air, Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better, Voltron transform to DX Don. Mega and obscene. You probably think I'm nice, cause I slow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air.
Hi, am I on the air? Oh yeah, what is going down, everybody? Welcome to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air, live from the Red Dragons Radio Studios here in Tucson, Arizona. So happy to be here. I'm your host, Don Mega. It is Monday, April the 13th. Ready to rock and roll. It is season 10, episode 14. Tonight's show title, The Man Without Fear. Woo! Alright, baby. What I'm excited to talk about, kicking things off, is going to be... there's no big movie review this week. I'm just going to lay that out here. I told you on last week's show we were going to go check out Ex Machina. And unfortunately, it was not a wide release. And Ex Machina was only released in 4 theaters last weekend. 4. Yes, you heard me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know what the hell that was about. I don't know why the limited release, all the sites I was looking at said that it was a wide release. What I'm hearing from the studio is that it will open up in more theaters, a couple more theaters this Friday, and then it'll go wide in 2 weeks. So we'll see. I was pretty bummed about it. Me and Geeky Pat were all ready to go check it out. Movie's getting rave reviews. I mean, 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s. I've seen several sites listed as the best movie of the year so far. I'm so excited to see this film. I was so bummed. I didn't even look up movie times till Friday morning. And actually, Geeky Pat hit me up and he's like, I don't see this movie playing anywhere. And I was like, what? Get out of here. And I looked up every single theater in town, including like the little artsy theaters that we have that usually show movies like this, and they didn't have it either. Makes sense, figuring it was only in 4 theaters. It was in like LA and New York and, you know, stuff like that. So we lost out, so we didn't get to the theater. But what that allowed me to do was have some good old-fashioned TV time as I binge-watched the entire first season of Marvel's new show, Daredevil, on Netflix. That's been the talk of the town. I know the whole Red Dragons radio team has been trying to get through it. Our good buddy Friggins from the People's Forum, he made it through like me, so we finished it. I know Peeps is close. I think he's pretty close to getting done. He'll probably be done tonight or tomorrow. And Geeky Pat is about halfway through or so. So good job on everybody's part, kind of making their way through it. So that's going to be, instead of my movie review, we're going to talk Daredevil, alright? But before we get to that, I want to talk a couple shout-outs and cross-promotions. So, last week, after I put out last edition of Am I on the Air, which first and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody that listened to last week's Am I on the Air. The episode was called See You Again. We reviewed Furious 7, and of course, we went through our week worth of news. Last week's show, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just people curious about Fast and Furious or not, but last week's episode did tremendously well. I mean, it brought in, within 24 hours, it brought in about 10 times the amount of the previous episode. I was like, wow. And then a week later, I mean, it is one of the best performing episodes we have ever had on Am I on the Air? I haven't looked at the numbers yet effectively as of today, but the last I looked at it, it was trending to be pretty much the number one most listened to show since we moved the show off of Blog Talk Radio and onto Buzzsprout. So, which that's been almost a couple years in its own right. So, highest rated show in a couple years, damn, I'll take it. So thank you so much to everybody that listened to See You Again. I was blown away by the amount of times that show has been downloaded and listened to and spread through social media. So thank you so much. So keeping with the Fast and Furious theme, if you didn't see, I'm telling you right now, we did do the Am I Still on the Air episode. I promised you guys the last couple of weeks that it was coming, and we put it out last week. If you don't know and you're new to Am I on the Air, Am I Still on the Air is actually a spin-off show of this show. It's not something that I have any kind of schedule for. I don't do it once a month or bi-weekly or anything like that. I do it as subjects come up. When we have something good to really talk about. It's a spin-off show where I usually have a guest and we focus on one particular topic. Our Am I Still on the Air for last week was about the Fast and Furious. So we did Am I Still on the Air, the Fast and Furious saga. Basically, myself along with Geeky Pat, we sat down and we broke down just the entire Fast and Furious saga from Part 1 all the way through Furious 7. So we talk about the entire franchise from beginning to end, what we liked, what we maybe didn't like, what's our favorite film of the franchise, where do we think the franchise is going, how did we feel that they handled Paul Walker in Furious 7. We discuss it all. So I really hope you go check that out if you haven't already. It's part of our iTunes feed. It's on Stitcher now and everything. Just go and check out that episode. It's Am I Still on the Air? The Fast and Furious Saga. Go listen to that. All right. And then on top of that, I am also a guest. I have a guest appearance on the latest People's Forum episode. So if you go to reddragonsradio.com, click on the tab that says People's Forum, you'll see his latest episode is called The Top 5 Movies We Want Hollywood to Make. And I was asked nicely to go be a part of that show. So I went over there and I did that one along with Geeky Pad and Friggins and of course Peeps, and we all broke down our top 5 movies that we want Hollywood to make, and there was some really good picks on there. So if you're interested, go check that out on the People's Forum. And while you're on reddragonsradio.com, of course, click on Am I Still on the Air and listen to the Fast and Furious special, alright? And lastly, if you still have not listened to it, I'm talking about Red Dragons Assemble. Red Dragons Assemble, as you know, is the brand new show with myself, Geeky Pat, and Peeps. The three of us get together once a month. We do an episode called under the name of Red Dragons Assemble, and we basically talk a whole month of entertainment news. And it's a really, really great show. So if you haven't listened to it yet, once again, go to reddragonsradio.com, click on the link that says Red Dragons Assemble, and listen to episode 2. The episodes are just titled by numbers. So there's only 2 episodes out so far, 1 and 2, 2 being the newest. So go check it out. And with that being said, I'm going to take a quick sip here of my Tea Java. It's premium iced tea. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Tea Java. Handpicked, micro-brewed, North American Tea Champion 2011, 12, and 13, 3 years in a row. Tea Java. You can purchase a case of 12 33.8 fluid ounce bottles, or 1 liter for the rest of you. 12 bottles for $12 at your local Costco store. So Tea Java. Oh, so good. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's talk about some Daredevil. Daredevil is the first of many exclusive Netflix shows. So Netflix and Marvel signed a deal last year saying they're going to do some shows for Marvel. Now, as far as TV goes, we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, you know, we're big fans of, really, really like. But Marvel getting on board brought a different dynamic, because Netflix doesn't have commercials. They put out all the episodes at one time. They can get a little bit, darker. They don't have as much guidelines to stick to as a major network does. So Netflix and Marvel agreed to do these shows, starting with Daredevil, followed by AKA Jessica Jones, followed by Luke Cage, followed by Iron Fist, and then ending in their own Avengers type show called The Defenders, where it'll bring them all together. Now, I'll stay spoiler free for you in case you haven't finished Daredevil yet. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. This is just my general overall impressions. Absolutely fantastic. Fan-friggin-tastic. I don't think I'd be done with the show right now if it wasn't so good. The show kicked off on Netflix on Friday. 13 episodes all at one time. I stayed up late on Thursday night. As soon as midnight hit, boom, the show was available on Netflix. I watched the pilot episode, and I watched the second episode. Then I went to bed. And then I woke up Friday morning, and I basically watched the whole rest of the season, except for the last 2 episodes. I made it through the whole rest of the season up to number 11. And then went to bed. Saturday morning, woke up and finished the last 2 episodes. And damn, it was so good. The only downside to binging is it's all over. And I don't have any more Daredevil to watch. And it's so sad. I'm glad Marvel got the property back. It's good to see Daredevil revived and brought back. I really like the character Daredevil. Now, blast me all you want, I am a fan of the movie with Ben Affleck. I know a lot of people are not, and a lot of people talk smack about it, but I like Daredevil, especially the director's cut. The director's cut provides the real telling of Daredevil and Matt Murdock, with a lot of twists and turns that the theatrical version kind of left out. Plus, it's unrated, which is what we need in Daredevil, obviously, as the Netflix show showed you. So I won't rip anything about the Ben Affleck movie. But this TV series basically is year one. It's the kind of coming to age tale and the story of our hero and villain, to be honest. We see the transition of Matt Murdock into Daredevil, and of course we see the transition of Wilson Fisk into Kingpin. It's an origin story for both your hero and your villain, and it takes place in Hell's Kitchen in New York City. Yes, it is tied to the Marvel MCU, even though they don't overdo it in this show. Like on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's very closely connected, and there's always name drops, and this, and that. Daredevil tried to stay away from your over-the-top connections and just imply certain things. Like in the second episode, you hear, well, the guy wasn't in an iron suit and didn't have a magical hammer, so obviously you're hinted Iron Man and Thor. If you looked at the newspaper clippings in the reporter's office, there was a newspaper clipping about the Hulk. It said, like, Attack in Harlem or something like that, and it had the pictures from the Hulk movie. When the reporter goes home and he's got his picture in his hands, it says the Battle of New York, and it has like the fallen worm laying on top of the building from the Avengers movie. If you look at the poster for the film, you will see the Avengers Tower or the Stark Tower, however you want to look at it, right there in the background. So there's a lot of subtle hints. Friggins actually pointed this out to me, and I saw there's a scene in the police station, and one of the trusted cops is talking, and on the wall in the background behind him is a picture of Stan Lee dressed like a cop. So there was your Stan Lee cameo. Very, very sneakily placed in. The orphanage that Matt Murdock grew up in is the same orphanage that Skye from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was in. So there's a lot of little tie-ins, but they don't overdo it. They don't really ever mention... Oh, Foggy mentions Captain America at one point. But they don't overdo it. So I've seen over the weekend a lot of people saying, this isn't even tied into the MCU. Yes, it is. It's been confirmed. It is. So there's nothing to argue there. They just don't overdo it. Now, saying that, I will say that the tone of the show makes it feel like it's not connected, to be honest, because Daredevil is so dark. It's bloody. It's super violent. I mean, it's hard to imagine Captain America swinging in and handling some of the crooks the way that Daredevil does. It's a different feel. Netflix is going for street level heroes is what they're calling it, with characters like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, which I feel like there was a lot of little Iron Fist nods in this show. So when Iron Fist comes out, I feel like it's going to be really connected to the Daredevil show. From the little symbol that was on the drugs to the older lady who I feel comes from the mythical land that Iron Fist came from. I feel like the little kid in like episode 5 or 6 with Stick has something to do with Iron Fist. There's a lot of loose connections there that I think we'll see pay off. Now, a lot of us didn't think that we were going to see Daredevil in the red suit. And I remember seeing an article a couple weeks ago, and the producers and everybody said, don't worry, you'll see him in the red suit. So I got excited, and I was like, cool, we're going to see it. And then like Thursday before the show came out, they debuted the Netflix poster of Daredevil with him in the red suit. And I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. I kind of like the Affleck suit better, but it looked pretty cool. So I'm watching the show, and I'm like, I was talking to some people, and some people were like, oh, he'll probably get it like 5 episodes in, 6 episodes in. And I was like, I don't know. I have a feeling that they're going to wait to the very last episode, like the last 15 minutes of it, and then give us the suit. And that was my worry. I remember like when we were in that last season of Smallville, and everybody was like, we're going to see him in the Superman suit. And it was like literally the last 2 seconds of the show. So we're waiting, and there was a lot of teases throughout the show where like Rosario Dawson was like, you need a better suit, and he's like, I'm working on it, and the reporter was like, you need a better suit, and he's like, I know, I'm working on it. So it's like, come on, let's go. And there's the part of the story where how he gets the suit, and it makes a lot of sense, so I won't spoil that for you if you haven't got to that part yet. But yes, he does finally get the suit, and guess what? It's in the season finale in the last 15 minutes of the show. So I was a little bummed because I was like, give me the damn suit already. But I'll tell you this. Waiting that long made me really enjoy it when it did happen, because it had a payoff to where it was like, okay, he's made that transition now from the devil of Hell's Kitchen into Daredevil. And, you see the transition of the black outfit to the red outfit with the horns. And it was really, really cool when he finally did put on the red suit. So it did make the payoff kind of hit. And I appreciated it. So I'm okay with it, guys. Yeah, I struggled a bit. I remember every episode I was like, come on. But it paid off, and I think they did a great job with it. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is phenomenal. The guy killed it. What a great villain. Probably the second best Marvel MCU villain we've seen outside of Loki. And to his own extent, maybe even better than Loki as far as an intimidating villain goes. Because he could be super calm and chill at one point, and then kill your ass in the very next sentence. He was perfect, and I would love to see Vincent D'Onofrio pop up in the MCU in a bigger form, maybe in Spider-Man, something else. And Charlie Cox, he is the guy that plays Daredevil, and I remember when he got casted, I mean, he was known mainly for Boardwalk Empire, and I don't watch that show, so I didn't know who he really was, and when he got cast, I looked at his picture, and I kind of did the instant reaction, and I was like, that guy's not Daredevil, whatever. But you know what? After the first episode, I was sold. He did an amazing job as Daredevil. I loved him as Matt Murdock. I loved him as Daredevil. The fight scenes are just so awesome, man. It was like capoeira and like just all kinds of martial arts in there that were just great. Especially like the fight scene in like the 3rd episode, I believe, where you're seeing him come down the hallway to rescue the kid, and it's like one continuous shot of him going through the rooms fighting everybody. So good. And the fight between Daredevil and Kingpin in the finale episode, so good. The twists and turns and everything. All 13 episodes were awesome. I didn't feel like there was one weak episode out of the entire bunch. They really gave us who all these characters were, setting up their own little mini MCU universe. And I remember watching this thinking, like, man, Netflix has got to do The Punisher. They got to, because this show screamed Punisher to me. And I would love to see him in this. So I can't wait. You know, the next show is going to be Jessica Jones. I can't wait to see what tone they go with there. You know, there wasn't much crossover in Daredevil because Daredevil went first, and they were filming when everybody else was getting cast, and they were trying to figure stuff out. So as we move forward and we go into like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, there's going to be a lot more crossovers, and we can see Daredevil pop up on a Luke Cage episode, you know, and we can see Iron Fist obviously working with Daredevil. There's stuff that we can see in the future that we didn't really get with this first season of Daredevil because they were the first out the gate, so they were a little bit more restricted. What I'm wondering now is season 2. Do we get one? When do we get it? You know, a lot of people are assuming that we're going to get season 2 and it's just going to happen next year. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time. I wouldn't be too sure about that. I'm waiting for the confirmation from Marvel. But the thing is Marvel hasn't talked about second seasons here. They have a plan. They have a rollout. And their rollout is to go each year 2 shows. So this year, 2015, we have Daredevil and we have Jessica Jones. Next year, we have Luke Cage and Iron Fist in 2016. And then in 2017, we get the Defenders. So to me, the earliest we would get a season 2 Daredevil would be 2017, end of 2017. And that's scary. Do we really want to wait 2.5 years to get a second season? Now, because of how well this is done, and how well the positive reception has been for this character, maybe they'll move forward and they'll say, hey, on top of debuting Luke Cage and Iron Fist next year, we'll do a second season of Daredevil. That's what I'm hoping for, but right now it feels like they want to do a first run of all 4 of these shows, go into the Defenders, and then repeat. Kind of like how a Marvel phase is, you know, you don't get Iron Man 2 and then Iron Man 3 the very next summer. You get Iron Man 2 all the way build up to the Avengers, and then you get Iron Man 3, you know what I mean? So I don't know how their template's going to be for Netflix yet. Fingers are crossed that they don't make us wait, because I want a second season now. And, you know, I'm excited about the possibilities of seeing Kingpin come to rise, and maybe Bullseye and Elektra, and all the different things they can give us in a Daredevil season 2. So that in a nutshell, my friends, is a review of Netflix's Daredevil. 13 episodes. It's available right now. Go binge watch. It's worth it. Check it out. If I had to give it a movie scale, I would give it probably a 5 out of 5. It's basically a 13-hour movie, and I thought they did an excellent job with it. Alrighty, before we get to the news, there's one more TV show I want to announce. I just also binge watched through The Last Man on Earth, which is the new Fox show starring Will Forte. MacGruber! Will Forte is hilarious. The show started several weeks ago when I started DVRing it, and I just haven't had a chance to really watch it. So I finally did, and once I got going, I was like, this show's pretty damn funny. And I kept watching, and I finally just finished it this morning, completely caught up. It's hilarious. It's not going to be for everybody. It's got a very quirky kind of sense of humor going to it, but I love the hell out of it. So highly recommend this show. Basically, general concept is just that Will Forte is the last man on Earth. It's in the year 2020, I believe, and there's been some kind of virus, and for 2 years he's been the only guy left on Earth. There's nothing left. There's no animals. There's no other people. He's just been roaming the U.S. looking for people, can't find it, so he settles down right here in Tucson, Arizona, but he leaves signs up in every town saying, you know, hey, I'm alive in Tucson, and a girl pops up finally, and he's like, oh my god, and, you know, but then other characters start to pop up, so he's not really the last man on Earth, and it's great to see the dynamic of everybody that pops up, and it's got a lot of little twists and turns, and I really, really like it, and it's super funny. So check it out on Fox. I think there's only like 3 episodes left this season. It's just like a little half-season show, but it's already been picked up for a second season, so that's very, very good. I'm happy about it. Great show. Check it out. All right, let's get to our news of the past week. Starting off, Stephen Moffat, who runs the Doctor Who show, he says that Doctor Who isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so don't be afraid of that. Doctor Who is going to be around for quite some time. Let's see here. Sorry, I was passing some other stuff. If you didn't know, the complete Star Wars saga got a digital HD release this past Friday, meaning that you can now watch it digitally through your PlayStation or through your Apple TV, or you can buy it through Vudu or Flixster and actually watch it digitally through your mobile devices and tablets and all that good stuff for the first time in high definition ever. So very, very cool. I have the whole box set on Blu-ray, so I don't know if I want to buy it on digital because it's like another $90 to get all 6 movies. So, yeah. The Sci-Fi Channel has greenlit Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's new TV show called Incorporated, which is going to be on, like I said, the Sci-Fi Channel. Netflix is going to be premiering Special Correspondence, which is a new show starring Ricky Gervais and Eric Bana. So that's going to be coming to Netflix as well. I'm telling you, man, Netflix is blowing up. It's becoming the #1 network here in the world. I believe we talked about this on last week's show, but David Lynch has left the Twin Peaks reboot, saying that they didn't offer him a fair amount of money. Makes sense from what we're hearing in Hollywood. I talked about Jason Statham left the Transporter series because they wanted to downplay his money so much. In a little bit of a shocker, your Vampire Diaries mainstay Nina Dobrev, who is so fine, by the way, she's leaving the show. She will not be back next year, so that is very, very crazy as we say goodbye to her. Tom Hardy is quoted as saying there's no shadow of a doubt that he'll do another Mad Max film. We know about that because we talked on last week's show, the fact that he had signed to do at least 3 more on top of the one he's already done. So going to be a lot more Mad Maxes as long as the audience turns out for Fury Road next month. Let's see here. Fast and Furious actually debuted Furious 7 last week. After we did the show, we found out the final box office numbers, and it did even better than we thought. We said it had done $384 million worldwide. It had actually done $391, and we said that it had done $143 million domestically in the 3 days, and it actually did $147. So it continues to crush records, and we'll talk some more Furious 7 numbers later in the show as we get through the news, but it's crazy. So in the beginning of the week, we found out that Warner Brothers is rumored to want the Lego movie directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller to direct the Flash movie. We're like, it's just a little rumor. It is what it is, whatever. But then we found out confirmation that they are going to write the movie. So they are writing the script. No word yet as far as directing. They do have an option to direct if they want, but they're not committing to directing right now. They said, well, let us write the script and we'll kind of go from there. I think it's a great fit. I love these two guys. Not only did they do the Lego movie, but they did 21 and 22 Jump Street. The Flash needs comedic elements to it. There's no two guys better to handle this than Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So I am very, very excited that they're coming on board as writers for this movie, and I'm glad that Warner Brothers is going out and seeking talent to build this DC cinematic universe. Very, very cool. Alrighty. The Logan's Run remake looks to be eyeing a female lead, so they're looking to switch it up from a male to a female. Rooney Mara and David Wenham joined the biopic film called Lion. Keanu Reeves has been talking about John Wick 2, and he says that he wants the world of the Continental Hotel to be explored and expanded in John Wick 2. I like the idea. I thought the whole idea of the Continental, which was like a safe haven for assassins, was a really cool concept, and I think if they expanded it and explored it a little bit more, it would be very, very cool. So I like where he's kind of going with that. We got the list of some premiere dates for USA Network's new shows coming back, like Suits and Playing House and a lot more. So check out that article so you have the official dates there. Speaking of official, we've talked about this a dozen times, but it hasn't really been official, so to speak, yet from Marvel. But Marvel has officially announced that Joe and Anthony Russo, the Russo brothers, are going to direct the 2-part Avengers Infinity War films. This has been a long time coming. We've been talking about it for a long period. These are the guys that directed Winter Soldier. They're doing Civil War. We talked about that this was pretty much a done deal. But I guess nothing is technically official in Hollywood till you hear it from the horse's mouth. And we finally have Marvel spoke up and said, yes, Joe and Anthony Russo are doing Infinity War. So it is now official that the Russo brothers are directing the Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. We got the new poster for Agent 47, Hitman. You can check that out. Brian Grazer, producer of Arrested Development, says that there's 17 more episodes of Arrested Development that are coming. So I would assume on Netflix, because that's where the last season came from. But yes, so 17 more episodes, supposedly. Tron 3 is officially welcomed back Olivia Wilde as Quora. I'm excited about this. Who isn't excited about Olivia Wilde? She is one of the most gorgeous women in the world. And she was awesome in Tron 2. So I am very glad to see that she's going to be back for Tron 3. Welcome back, Olivia Wilde. In the Honest Trailer news, we have the Honest Trailer for Daredevil. Yes, the 2003 movie with Ben Affleck, who I still feel has a better suit. We have Everything Wrong with Big Hero 6, and yeah, check that out. Let's see here. Ed Skrein, who we knew is in the Deadpool movie, we didn't know who he was playing. He has been officially confirmed now as the villain Ajax. So he's going to be Ajax in the Deadpool movie. So very, very cool. Jimmy Jean Lewis is going to return on Heroes Reborn, playing the Haitian. So you all remember the Haitian in Heroes, right? He was the one that basically, if he was in the room, you had no powers anymore. I thought he was a very cool character, so I'm glad to see that he's coming back for Heroes Reborn. It makes me happy whenever anybody from the original Heroes has signed on to return, just like Hiro Nakamura. In remake news that we don't need, She's All That remake is getting done. I don't know, guys. Don't ask me why they feel we need a remake of She's All That. But it's coming. Another sequel on its way is going to be for Need for Speed. They're working on a sequel with EA Games, and they're looking to film it in China. They're trying to pull a card out of the Avengers, out of Transformers Age of Extinction playbook, and really market that Asian side of things. So when this movie comes out, they become a ginormous box office hit over in Asia. So I like the Need for Speed movie. It gets a little bit of grief, but I thought it was a fun ride. It had all practical effects, lots of really cool cars, and I would totally be down to see a sequel. So let's do it. Fast 8 is nowhere near the starting line is the official title of this article that came out. As much as it seems like we're going to be jumping forward into Fast and Furious 8, nothing's lined up yet. James Wan, who directed number 7, was supposed to be lined up to do number 8, but because number 7 took so long to do, and he had to, it took a couple years extra getting everything done. It was such a stressful job for him. Universal let him out of his second picture deal, and now he's going to go direct Conjuring 2. So there's no director on board. They were thinking about going back to Justin Lin, but Justin Lin's going to be doing Star Trek 3 now. They have no script written. The cast, basically their contracts are up, so everybody's got to renegotiate at this point, and they're not even sure everybody's going to want to return without Paul Walker now. So it's kind of all up in the air. So as much as, as Furious 7 has become the biggest of the entire 7 films, we're nowhere near knowing, what's next. So we'll keep you posted. I'm sure they're going to, from what I hear, Universal's going to have a meeting by the end of the month, and they'll kind of figure stuff out at that point. So I expect to know more by the end of April. Let's see. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a new video game that's been announced for PS4 and Xbox One that is coming out soon. USA Network's 2015 to 2016 development slate, including a new show by The Rock is been put out by USA Network, so you can check out that link on our Twitter and Facebook page. The Human Centipede 3, yes, 3, subtitled The Final Sequence, has landed a May release date and has been given an official synopsis. We've also posted the Red Band trailer to this movie as well. If you don't know what Human Centipede is right now, leave it alone. Warner Brothers Picture has picked up the rights to do a Five Nights at Freddy's feature adaptation. I never played this video game, but from what I hear, it's super, super scary, and I love the concept of it, which is kind of like these animatronic creatures that are in like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing at night come to life and kill people. Hell yeah, let's do it, man. So Five Nights at Freddy's getting a feature adaptation over at WB. I love it. Let's see. Alice Through the Looking Glass is the official final title for the Disney Pictures Alice in Wonderland sequel that's coming. Alice Through the Looking Glass. I really am not looking forward to a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. Sorry. Like I said earlier, Fox has renewed The Last Man on Earth for Season 2. I'm very, very excited about that. Gore Verbinski returns to horror with a new movie called A Cure for Wellness that will be starring Dane DeHaan. So that'll be cool. Suicide Squad released their first cast photo. It's just a cool little, like, they were doing a table read at the office, and they snapped a picture of everybody chilling together, and it was really cool to see, like, Will Smith and Margot Robbie and Jai Courtney and everybody chilling. No picture of Jared Leto, though. He wasn't there with the group because he's on tour right now with his rock band 30 Seconds to Mars, so he's joining up here in the next week or so. So he was the only one missing from the photo. Mark Millar is partnering with Lorenzo Di Bonaventura for Jupiter's Legacy. Jupiter's Legacy, I believe, is another comic or graphic novel that is coming out, and they're going to be trying to adapt it into another feature film, man. Mark Millar is killing it right now with his adaptations getting added here. Warner Brothers has tapped the guy that wrote the Goosebumps script to do the Gremlins reboot. So once again, the Gremlins reboot is on. This is a movie they've been trying to reboot for many, many years now, and for some reason it keeps hitting a wall, but they're attempting it again, so we will see. Kathy Bates has officially checked into American Horror Story Hotel. We kind of saw that coming, right? So yeah, congratulations, Kathy Bates is returning to American Horror Story. Pee-wee's Big Holiday has added Joe Manganiello to that movie. They're currently filming it right now. Disney is developing a live-action Pinocchio-inspired film. I like that they say Pinocchio-inspired. So this won't be a direct Pinocchio film, but it's a Pinocchio-inspired. Jose Padilla, who directed the RoboCop reboot, he's going to direct a new sci-fi thriller called Minecore. Vin Diesel and Chris Tucker have joined Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. I don't know much about the movie, but I know they're trying to stack it with some actors here. So it's cool to see Vin Diesel step out and do something a little bit different. HBO Now is debuted on all Apple devices, so if you're looking for the standalone HBO service, it's available now on Apple products. TV Upfronts USA has ordered a Chris Lee late night pilot, and they've also nabbed SmackDown from the Sci-Fi Channel. SmackDown has been on Sci-Fi for many, many, many years. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I know. But the USA Network is going to be taking it over, which makes a lot of sense. They do Monday Night Raw for the WWE, so why not do SmackDown? I think it's cool to keep it on the same network. I don't know about a late night show from Chris Lee, because to me, Chris Lee does not know best. CBS All Access is headed to Roku, so that's pretty cool. New Girl has enlisted Fred Armisen, Steven Ranazazi, and Ali Mackey for next season. Lip Sync Battle has premiered, and it's been a very big hit, and Spike TV is very happy for it, and we got a little article up talking about how NBC had first dibs on it, and NBC said, nah, we're good, we don't want it, and then they gave it to Spike TV, and now Spike TV has a massive hit on their hands, and NBC's over in the corner crying, saying, how did we let that show go? Stupid asses. Kristen Shaw has joined Melissa McCarthy and Michelle Darnell. She's pretty awesome. She's on that Last Man on Earth show that I watched, so that's very cool. Garrett Hedlund also confirmed for Tron 3, so it's official now that Olivia Wilde and Garrett Hedlund are returning for Tron 3. Universal Pictures has announced that it's going to release the Steve Jobs biopic film starring Michael Fassbender on October 9th, so that's be coming then. Disney's Chris Pine Coast Guard drama called Finest Hours has been pushed back to January 2016. Carl Franklin is taking over directing duties on the Tupac biopic film now that John Singleton has departed the feature. Suicide Squad has added Mike Barinholtz to its cast. That'd be interesting to see what Ike Barinholtz is going to do. I like the guy. He's funny as hell. I just don't know what he would be doing in Suicide Squad. Maybe he's the Riddler. That'd be kind of cool. We have the first official trailer for Sinister 2, so that should be good. I like the first Sinister for the most part. I just wish we would have had more Bagul. The bad guy in Sinister is awesome, but you don't really get much of him in the first film, so I hope we get more of him in the second one. We also have the trailer for Brave Town, which is a new movie starring Josh Duhamel and Lucas Till. Like I said, we have the Red Band trailer for The Human Centipede 3. We also have Everything Wrong with Dear John, which is everything. Lionsgate and the Hunger Games team are planning to adapt Homer's The Odyssey, so they're going to do that together. FX has announced premiere dates for Dennis Leary's new rock and roll comedy, Married, and a lot more, so you can check out all the release dates there on that article. The directors and everybody from the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies said that the sequels that play out at the end credits of 22 Jump Street are now officially canon in the 21 Jump Street universe. So Dance School and Flight School and all those funny ones that they did as jokes at the end of 22 Jump Street are officially movie canon, which is so funny that they would actually include that. Let's see here. FX has also announced the release date for The Strain. That's also on that article. I'm looking forward to the second season of The Strain. I really like that show. It's clobbering time. We got some new Fantastic Four images, including the first really good look at the Thane, which I think he looks amazing. He's very rock and looks a lot better than Michael Chiklis in a rubber suit. So that is awesome. Avengers Age of Ultron is tracking better than the first film, which is phenomenal once again because the first Avengers film opened up to $207 million its opening weekend, and it's the number one biggest debut of all time. So if they're saying Age of Ultron is trending better, then that means they're going to break their own record as the biggest opening film of all time. So that is very, very cool. Some critics got to see the first viewing of Age of Ultron last week, and although they couldn't fully review it because of an embargo for a couple weeks, they were allowed to talk on social media about what they felt. And I have seen nothing but positivity. Everybody says the movie is fantastic from start to finish. It is darker, but it's an Avengers film and it's fun. Just the action is top notch. There's a lot of twists and turns and surprises. So I'm already so psyched. But to hear that everybody loved it coming out of that press screening makes me even more psyched. We have the first trailer for Season 3 of Orange is the New Black. You can check that out on the Twitter page. We have the character poster for the Vision from Avengers Age of Ultron. It's the first time they've shown us a clear look at Vision. I think he looks awesome. Some people are trying to avoid it, but if you want to see it, it is on the Facebook and Twitter page. We've also, Bryan Singer has also revealed some concept art for Angel from X-Men Apocalypse. Very cool looking wings and everything. I like it a lot. Marvel Entertainment is developing an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off show. No word as to what it's going to focus on and who it's going to be about. Your guess is as good as mine. The only thing I can think of is maybe doing something with the Inhumans, since this season is focused so much on Inhumans, and there's a whole separate group of people with powers and everything. That might be a good spin-off. But other than that, I don't see what else they could do. But we'll keep you posted as things come out about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off. We have the first teaser trailer for True Detective Season 2. I'm looking really forward to this one. I like the first True Detective with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. But this one I think is going to be more up my alley. This one here has Rachel McAdams, and it's got Vince Vaughn, and it's got Colin Farrell and Taylor Kitsch. It just looks really, really good. So check out that Season 2 teaser for True Detective over on our Twitter page. Going back to video game news, Treyarch and Activision have teased the next Call of Duty game, and guess what it's going to be, because it's Treyarch and they can't think of anything new and fresh. It's going to be Black Ops 3, so I know a lot of people are excited about this. I'm in the minority, I guess, when it comes to it. There's a lot of different makers that do the Call of Duty games. I'm a big Infinity Ward fan. I like what Infinity Ward does. The Treyarch games, to me, always seem to falter. But for some reason, a lot of people love the Treyarch games, and I'll still buy them and play them, but they just never live up to the hype that I feel. But everyone else loves the Treyarch games, and to a lot of people, Black Ops and Black Ops 2 are the best of the bunch. So people are stoked that Black Ops 3 is coming. I'm not so much, but we'll see. You know, hopefully with the PS4 and with some new tools and everything, they'll give us a really cool game. Going back to True Detective Season 2, just want to let you know that the show will premiere on HBO on June 21st. So that is very, very cool. Bryan Singer has also confirmed that Ben Hardy is Angel in X-Men Apocalypse. So we knew Ben Hardy was in the film. We speculated that he was Angel, but now Bryan Singer has confirmed it. So very, very cool. Don't forget that you can see 15-second movie reviews on our Instagram page, so go check out Instagram.com/AmIOnTheAir. Just look for us, just search Am I on the Air, and you'll find us, like us, follow us, do whatever you got to do over there on the Instagram, and check out all the 15-second movie reviews. We added Get Hard and Furious 7 last week. Alrighty. Coming this fall, of course, we've talked about it before, but coming this fall to stars is Bruce Campbell returning as Ash in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, along with executive producer Sam Raimi. Very, very excited. Suicide Squad news again, Jared Leto. They posted a picture of him taking a picture himself with a camera. It's a little fuzzy, but the biggest change to it, he's got green hair. Yes, everybody, his hair is green. He's becoming the Joker. But it's a cool picture because it's like their mock version of the Killing Joke cover, which is a picture of the Joker taking a picture with a camera. So I like the little mock thing that they did with that. Let's see here. Robbie Amell and Jennifer Garner have joined the movie 9 Lives opposite Kevin Spacey, where he plays a cat. I've talked about this movie before. It's going to be awesome. AMC's Preacher has added Constantine's Lucy Griffiths to the show, and Dominic Cooper is very close to closing his deal to star as Preacher himself, so I'm looking forward to that. Ryan Gosling is in negotiations to join Guillermo del Toro's Haunted Mansion movie. We have the first exclusive look at Ant-Man Yellow Jacket from the Ant-Man movie. I think it's Corey Stoll, and I love the Ant-Man, or the Yellow Jacket suit. It looks awesome. Very, very excited about that. Julianne Moore is going to headline a new movie called Can You Ever Forgive Me? Independence Day 2 has added Joey King and Brent Spiner to the roster, so it's good to see Brent Spiner returning. Hayden Christensen is going to star in Paramount Pictures' Marco Polo movie. Let's see here. In some more negotiation news, Furious 7 director James Wan, who we talked about a little bit earlier, he's going to be doing Conjuring 2 here soon. Warner Brothers is looking to get him to direct the Aquaman movie. So a lot of movement here on the DC part of things, because we already talked about, Chris Lord and Phil Miller writing the Flash movie, possibly going to direct, and now James Wan doing Aquaman. No guarantee here, but it's looking pretty good. So after seeing what he did with Furious 7, I'd be totally fine with James Wan doing Aquaman. Alright, let's see here. Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely are going to be writing the Infinity Avengers movies, the Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. These are the guys that wrote Winter Soldier and Civil War. So obviously they love what those guys did with the scripts. They've worked with the Russo brothers before, so they're going to do Infinity War 1 and 2. The Dark Tower Lives. This has been a project that they've been trying to make for many, many years, and now Sony Pictures has picked up the rights, and they're going to do the adaptation of the Dark Tower. So very cool. Star Trek 3 has added Sophia Boutella, who was the badass female in Kingsman Secret Service. She was the one with like the sword legs. She's pretty awesome, so I'd like to see what she does in Star Trek, but I'm excited. I think she's going to be a good fit for that. Danny Nicolette has joined The Rock and Kevin Hart in their new movie Central Intelligence, so that's going to be really, really cool. Eddie Redmayne is the front runner for the Harry Potter spinoff Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So we'll see if he ends up getting that. We have the first trailer for The Rock's new HBO series called Ballers. I don't know where The Rock finds time to do all of this. He's got a new show coming out in USA. He does a TV show on TNT. He's got a show now on HBO. He comes back to wrestling every now and again. He does movies up the ass. Rock, oh my God, dude. Take a nap, please. But I love it because The Rock's awesome, and I would put The Rock in every movie I could, and Peeps knows that. So here he is in his new HBO drama, Ballers. Check that trailer out. The Maze Runner star Dylan O'Brien is in talks to join Mark Wahlberg in Deepwater Horizon. That is his next film. We have the new trailer for Hot Pursuit. It's the second trailer for that. We have the trailer for Russell Madness. Let's see here. So there were some interviews with Kevin Feige over the weekend. Of course, you know Kevin Feige. He runs the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so he's been doing a lot of interviews for Age of Ultron, and some people have been asking him some questions, and a lot of it revolved around Spider-Man. So he confirmed some things. Number one, is everybody ready? It's going to be Peter Parker, okay? So stop with the Miles Morales crap. It is Peter Parker. He has confirmed it. Number two, he will be a teenager. They said that they want Peter Parker in high school, and he will be about 15 or 16 years old in the new Marvel version. Okay? He goes on to say that basically he's got his powers already. The new movie will not be an origin story. When you meet him, he's already Spider-Man. He might be flying around New York in kind of like a homemade Spider-Man type costume, and then he'll get his real Spider-Man costume. We're supposed to find out who they cast here very, very soon, because they're doing Civil War now, and he's going to be in Civil War, so we got to find out soon. So there's just some little nuggets there on Spider-Man. They've already, Kevin Feige says they've already designed the new Spider-Man costume. It'll be classic, but it'll have a fresh new look that you haven't seen yet on the big screen. He is a teenager, 15 to 16 years old. He will be in high school, and it will be Peter Parker. Okay? So there's some updates on Spider-Man. Let's see. Project Almanac director Dean Izretelite is in talks to do the Power Rangers movie. So, although I didn't like Project Almanac, it looked pretty. So, I guess he could do Power Rangers. Ian McKellen is going to play Cogsworth in Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast movie that's coming out. Ryan Reynolds shared another set photo with himself in Negasonic Teenage Warhead. It's a very cool photo. I love that Ryan Reynolds is sharing photos from the set and everything because it's really making us excited for this film. Every picture I see come out with Deadpool just makes me laugh, makes me smile. TNT's The Last Ship is coming to Hulu, an exclusive streaming deal, so that'll be exclusive over there. Fox is remaking American Rocky Horror Picture Show as a 2-hour TV special. Scarlett Johansson's going to be hosting an upcoming episode of Saturday Night Live, so that's really, really cool. With just 10 days in the box office, Furious 7 has already outgrossed all previous installments of the 14-year-old franchise. So, like I said earlier, Furious 7 is the biggest movie of all 7 films. At its current pace, Furious 7 will likely become the highest grossing film in Universal Pictures history. No film in Universal history has passed $1 billion. Their biggest movie is the first Jurassic Park movie, which is like $980 million or so. But at this pace, it's looking like Furious 7 will hit $1 billion because it's already grossed over $800 million worldwide in just 2 weeks. So very, very awesome. The critically acclaimed sci-fi film Ex Machina, which I wish I would have saw, it drew the year's largest theater average of $62,489 in just 4 theaters. So that was massive. So big sellouts there for that film in all of its limited release. Let's see. Mark Ruffalo said he's interested in doing a Planet Hulk movie. I'm glad that Mark Ruffalo's interested, but I don't think Marvel is, to be honest with you. So, good job, Mark. We posted up a really cool picture on our Twitter page about a day ago or so with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. kind of mad dogging each other and Chris Hemsworth in the middle of them, just teasing Civil War a little bit. And I thought it was a really cool picture, so we tweeted it out. It was a personal pic that Robert Downey posted. So you can check that out on our Twitter page. Let's see here. Sorry, there's a lot of double stuff. Brad Bird has begun writing The Incredibles 2. So it's been about a year since we announced that they're doing Incredibles 2. But we are finally moving forward, and they're writing the script, and they will be hopefully directing by the end of the year. So it is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Stay calm. Incredibles 2. Speaking of Deepwater Horizon, which is that next Mark Wahlberg movie, Kurt Russell has joined the cast of that film. We just saw Kurt in Furious 7. He did a great job. I'm sure he's going to be back in Furious 8. But next up, he'll join Mark Wahlberg in Deepwater Horizon. Jim Perrick is going to be starring in Suicide Squad, and we pretty much have confirmed that his role in the movie will be Deathstroke. So there was a lot of rumors before that Joe Manganiello was going to be Deathstroke, and then that kind of just dropped off. Jim Perrick, what happened is he tweeted a picture of the Daft Punk CD cover that has the 2 robot masks kind of spliced together into one, and he said like hashtag mask inspiration, let's do this, hashtag Suicide Squad, which they were comparing the mask kind of thing to Deathstroke's mask, how it's the one side's blinded out because he has one eye, and then the other side with the eye exposed. Deathstroke is supposedly got a pretty decent role in this film, so it looks like Jim Perrick is going to be Deathstroke unless we hear otherwise, but that's where all the clues have led us at this point. Sylvester Stallone has shared the first official photo from the Rocky spinoff called Creed. It's a good little picture of him and Michael B. Jordan in the ring throwing punches. Let's see here. Sorry, I was throwing something else up. Let's see. We have some new trailers that just dropped this morning that are really badass. We have the new second trailer for Terminator Genisys. I don't know why this movie's getting a lot of hate. A lot of people are like, oh, Terminator's so stupid, blah, 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 blah. I thought the first trailer was great. This second trailer that dropped this morning is fantastic. And it does have kind of a spoiler in it. and I gotta talk about it. It's a trailer, so I'm gonna say it's not a spoiler because it's on the damn trailer. Basically, John Connor is the bad guy in this film. I don't know what happened, but probably something because of the timeline switch and the shift. John Connor is some new form of advanced Terminator, and he comes back to try to kill Sarah and everybody else, and Kyle Reese and all them. It's an awesome twist. I mean, you see, I forget the actor's name, like Jason Patrick or something like that. He shows up and she's like, "John, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Hey, Mom, blah blah blah." And then he's like all shape-shifting. He's kind of like a T-1000, but he's cooler. I was like, damn, he's the bad guy. So it showed a lot more Arnold. Like, it was a really cool trailer. So check that out in the trailers tab on amiontheair.com. Look for it on our Facebook. Look for it on our Twitter page. It just went up this morning. Second trailer for Terminator Genisys. I think it looks incredible and made me even more excited for the film. Speaking of new trailers, I'm also excited because the first official, because the other one was called a teaser, the first official trailer for Ant-Man just dropped. And it's a full 2.5 minute trailer. You'll get way more action. You get more of the sense of the tone of the film, what's happening. Corey Stoll is Yellow Jacket. You get to see a lot of Yellow Jacket. You get to see Ant-Man using his powers. They explain his powers a little bit more. This trailer is great. It made me way more excited for the film. This new trailer will be attached to Age of Ultron, so if you want to see it on the big screen, that's where it'll be. But it's also in all the social media places I just told you, our Facebook, our Twitter, our webpage, if you want to check out the trailer. So look for the brand new Ant-Man trailer, just dropped this morning. It's fantastic. Let's see. ABC has also set some summer premiere dates for their shows Mistresses, Rookie Blue, The Whispers, and a lot more. You can check the link for that. You can see the official trailer for the Scream TV show that MTV is going to do. Saw the trailer for that in the MTV Movie Awards last night. Looks okay. I might check it out. Kevin Feige explains why Age of Ultron isn't the time to expect a Captain Marvel cameo. He said in an early version of the script, there's been a lot of rumors where people were saying, oh, you're going to see Carol Danvers and she's going to debut in Age of Ultron. So they asked him straight up, hey, is she in the film? And he said no. He said there was an early part of the script that did have her in it, but he said they pulled her out. They wanted to save her for something else down the road. He says they really want to explain who her character is and what she does before she becomes Captain Marvel. So he says there's just a lot more they wanted to do with it, and that's why they took it out of Age of Ultron. So hopefully we'll know who's playing that here very, very soon. We got a whole Phase 3 update from Kevin Feige, talking about all the Spider-Man stuff I talked about, talking about Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, a lot of stuff about Phase 3, so check out that article. Destiny's new expansion pass, House of Wolves, is officially coming on May 19th for DLC. Miles Teller is going to join the new film Home is Burning. We have the new poster for Magic Mike XXL with Channing Tatum on there for all the ladies. And a new photo from the Zoolander 2 set, which shows Ben Stiller with his son, the son of Zoolander. So behold the son of Zoolander in some new set photos from Zoolander 2. Lastly, last night was the MTV Movie Awards. The show was fun to watch. Amy Schumer hosted, and I really like Amy, and I thought she did a good job hosting. The thing I don't like about the MTV Movie Awards is that it's fan-voted, and basically the only fans that vote are 15-year-old girls, so the results don't usually come out to what I want. So I'll run them down real quick anyway. Movie of the Year went to The Fault in Our Stars, which, compared to what it was going up against, come on. Best Male Performance went to Bradley Cooper for American Sniper. Best Kiss went to Ansel Elgort and Shailene Woodley for The Fault in Our Stars. Best Duo went to Zac Efron and Dave Franco for Neighbors. Best Comedic Performance went to Channing Tatum for 22 Jump Street. Best Female Performance went to Shailene Woodley for The Fault in Our Stars. Best Scared as Shit Performance went to Jennifer Lopez for The Boy Next Door. Best Shirtless Performance went to Zac Efron for Neighbors. Best Fight went to Dylan O'Brien versus Will Poulter in The Maze Runner. See, that's what I'm saying, man. The Maze Runner won Best Fight over Chris Evans against the Winter Soldier. Come on, dude. Stupid. Best WTF moment went to Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne for Neighbors. Best villain went to Meryl Streep for Into the Woods. Seriously, guys, best villain went to Meryl Streep for Into the Woods. Over Peter Dinklage in X-Men Days of Future Past. Over J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Over Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. Get the fuck out of here. So stupid. Best musical moment went to Jennifer Lawrence for The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and Best On-Screen Transformation went to Elizabeth Banks for The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, which is also stupid because that was over Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything, which that was a complete on-screen transformation. Zoe Saldana for Guardians of the Galaxy, Steve Carell for Foxcatcher, and because they put some makeup on Elizabeth Banks, she wins. That's what I'm talking about. It's a fun show to watch. It's a good popcorn little couple hours to pass. I got to see the Avengers all in one place. They showed me a scene from the new movie. It was worth it. But these winners are just such bullshit when it comes down to it. It just, stop letting just 15-year-old girls vote. Stop it. Because it's not working. Okay? Sorry. I had to get it off my chest. Tell me the movie of the year is Fault in Our Stars. Jesus. Okay, let's get over to our box office and our release dates. And we'll wrap this baby up. It's been a hell of a day. Already. And it's only Monday. We got all week here, baby. Out on DVD and Blu-ray tomorrow. This week is Big Eyes, The Woman in Black 2, The Babadook, and Maps to the Stars. In theaters on Friday is going to be Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, Unfriended, and Child 44. Here's your box office top 10. Number 10 is While We're Young with 1.4 million. Number 9 is Danny Collins with 1.6 million. Number 8 is It Follows with 2 million. Number 7 is Woman in Gold with 5.9 million. Number 6 is the Divergent series Insurgent with 6.9 million. Number 5 is Cinderella with 7.2 million. Number 4 is Get Hard with 8.6 million. Number 3 is a debut. It's The Longest Ride with 13.5 million. Number 2 is Home with 19 million. And your number 1 movie, once again, no shocker here, we already talked about it, it's Furious 7. In its second week, still bringing in $60.6 million. It is an amazing second week in theaters. $60 million in your second week is tremendous. Like I said, Furious 7 has already brought in over $800 million worldwide. Incredible. So that's your box office. If you want to hear more on Fast and Furious, once again, please go check out the Am I Still on the Air when we talk about the entire Fast and Furious saga, 1 through 7. It was a great episode with my boy Geeky Pat, so please go check it out. If you go to amiontheair.com, just look for the little tab that says Am I Still on the Air, and you can listen to those bonus episodes. Same thing on reddragonsradio.com. So that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. We went a little bit over an hour, but that's okay. And we're going to wrap it up right here. Please like us on Facebook at facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter at amiontheair. Follow me on Twitter at dxdonmega. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can listen to us on Stitcher, which if that's like you want to listen on the go through your mobile phone, Stitcher is the app you want to get for that. We are on Instagram, search Am I on the Air. We're on Google+. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/amiontheair. And, of course, our affiliate, reddragonsradio.com, where you can listen to this show. You can listen to Am I Still on the Air? You can listen to Red Dragons Assemble. You can listen to the People's Forum. You can listen to This Week with the Geek. You can listen to Out of the Rifts. You can listen to Pro Wrestling Nation. You can listen to the Brothers of Destruction podcast, and many, many more. So there's a lot of options to choose from. If you love podcasts and you want to look for some variety, check out reddragonsradio.com. And you can follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio so you always know what's going down in the world of podcast. So thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, thank you for your support on last week's episode. It was so phenomenal how well it did, and I thank you. I'm glad you enjoy. Please spread the word to all your friends, your family. If you know anybody that loves entertainment, loves listening to entertainment news. We want to be like, hey man, if you want to be up to speed, know what's going down, you need to listen to Am I on the Air. Spread it out on your social media. Let them know, hey, check out Am I on the Air. Follow Am I on the Air so you always got the latest news. I guarantee to not disappoint. My name is Don Mega, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great week, and until next time, peace. Red Dragon!